Hi, everybody. I'm Bryan Mudd, a fan of South Plains politics. Here's your talking points for this week. The law is still the law, folks. No virus will keep us from having to pay our property taxes. But if you want to protest your appraisal, that will be a little different now. And now is a time when our friends in rural counties would really like to use a doctor visit, do it over the phone or a computer. The virus may finally be the catalyst to get the state to help them.
From the studios of KAMC Television in Lubbock, your local election headquarters. This is Talking Points with Bryan Mudd.
Thanks for joining us, everybody. Also this week, the new trickle-down economy. One version made famous in the Reagan administration. The new COVID-19 version with guidelines on how to reopen businesses had everyone waiting on the White House. Well, that guidance came this week, followed by the governor, and coming soon, what specifically we will do here. Although, two bad bits of news for business owners waiting to open their doors as if they needed any more. One, it appears we need to show a real downward trend in cases first, and it doesn't look like we're near that yet. And two, the federal payroll protection program ran out of loan money this week, meaning everyone with applications pending is out of luck. But help may be on the way.
We knew that $350 billion probably would not take long before that would need to be recapitalized. But $260 billion has been approved. I know money is flowing to these small businesses because I get texts and emails, and but we're going to need to recapitalize that.
All right, good, right? So again, though, it's Washington, so who knows how long that might take. As far as loan options for business owners to at least keep the lights on, Governor Abbott talked this week about $50 million of private forgivable loans available. But you get the feeling that most business owners here would rather just not deal with it and just be allowed to do their real business, even if they have to deal with safety restrictions. KAMC's Alyssa Tejas gets the viewpoint of some of those owners.
It's our livelihood. It's how we make a living.
Hundreds of business owners in a bind, like Benny Jackson, owner of Stand By Benny Jackson. The business owner has had to lay off some of his staff and has transitioned to online retail, but is still struggling.
We're trying to just stand firm and feel like we want to hold on to our freedoms and our rights.
Only in business for a little more than a year and a half, Jackson has submitted a letter to City Council and talked to the mayor about his issues. And he's not alone. Several businesses have formed an initiative on Facebook to let Lubbock open.
We are just asking for a level playing field. Our small business owners right now are being unfairly disadvantaged.
As big box stores remain open, selling some of the same products available at mom and pop shops. Business owners say it's their right to keep business going.
Just asking the mayor and the city council to please look at some guidelines, consult medical staff who can let our small businesses open again.
City Councilwoman Latrell Joy agrees and has been against closing businesses from the get-go.
It's not equitable.
She's in favor of imposing guidelines like phasing in non-essential stores or prohibiting big box stores from selling non-essential items.
If we work together, maybe we can have a compromise.
Governor Greg Abbott says opening businesses needs to be done the right way and has been discussing the matter with White House officials.
We need to be smart about this because we have to do it in a way that does not allow the coronavirus to begin to expand again.
But what it comes down to is balance as we move forward into the unknown.
We're fighting it, and we're staying in there, and we're gonna get through it on the other side.
Alyssa Tejas, KAMC News.
All right, Alyssa, thank you. Steve Massengale is a member of Lubbock City Council from District 4. And, of course, he's a business owner and the co-chair now of the mayor's new Economic Recovery Task Force. It's good to see you, my friend.
Well, it's good to be seen via Skype, Brian. I think I'd much rather be in your studio, but it's absolutely good to be with you today.
Oh, yeah. Hey, we got to do what we got to do these days. I mean, you know that. Hey, first meeting of the task force tomorrow. Tell me about what your priorities are going to be there when we get started.
Well, I think what we're going to do is we would have had digested what the governor had given us on Friday, and we're going to analyze the differences between the state order and the local order and see what type of flexibilities we have as we determine what it looks like for Lubbock's recovery from COVID-19.
Sure. So how will the task force here work? How many meetings are you thinking? Is there a deadline to report things to the city council, or is it fluid? How is this going to work?
Well, I think the mayor's going to expect an initial report from the group by May 4th, and so we're going to shoot for that. The number of meetings are going to be many and frequent here in the short term.
Interesting. So how much influence, I know a lot of people have wondered, will the medical community have in all of this?
Well, we'll have to rely on them heavily, Brian, because we have got to continue to monitor the threat of the virus as we decide what opening back up looks like. And what we don't want to have happen, and we hear this in all the analysis, is, you know, if you're opening back up and you see that the virus poses a new threat, that you have a surge somewhere, that you've got to crank back down and close down. And to me, that's just non-negotiable. I want to make sure we do this opening correctly and gradually, so that we don't go back to any type of restricted situation.
Yeah, and just looking at it from the outside, it seems to me that having to do this a second time would be the worst thing. You're, of course, a small business owner, or well, I say small, but a business owner as well. How has this affected you? I mean, because you're feeling this from both ends of this, I suppose.
Sure. Well, as a policymaker, I feel it, but also as a small business owner, our stores have been closed now for a month. And, you know, it kind of hits us even at another angle besides the virus, because we're so dependent on Texas Tech University. And if we're not playing ball or we don't have students across the street, then there's not a whole lot of business. And so we're cautiously watching to determine what our path forward is with our own business.
Just listening to the president and listening to the governor, it's going to end up being some sort of balance between safety and the need for commerce. Do you have any, in your own mind, even a realistic idea of what that balance will look like, at least at the beginning? Is there going to be mask requirements or limit? I mean, how is that even, how are you even wrapping your brain around that is probably what I'm trying to say.
Well, I think whenever we're given a green light where, let's say, we can open non-essential retail back up, I think you're looking at reduced occupancy, you're looking at social distancing standards, much like you would see in our big boxes today, intense sanitation techniques, and I don't see how we do this without facial protection.
A loud group of business owners, of course, and workers who are worried about their financial life and livelihood right now. They want to open with safety measures like that, but they want to do it now. What do you say to them about that prospect and where we are today and over the next week or so?
I would tell them I hear them loud and clear. I also understand the unlevel playing field that's been presented when some of these larger retailers are able to sell things the smaller, non-essential retailers have been closed for. As you said earlier, there's a fine balance between lives and livelihoods as we navigate this path. And I think it's more complex than just opening. I believe that there's a new consumer confidence issue that's out there on, do I want to enter a business? If I enter a business, am I safe from COVID-19? Have they taken the steps necessary to make me safe while I'm in that business? On the flip side, the public has a new responsibility to understand how to conduct themselves while out in public while we continue to fight the virus. So it's a difficult issue.
We've talked about loans and unemployment checks and things like that on the show, but of course that can't go on forever. There are always limitations there. So does that mean, do you feel a pressure of time restraints because of that fact?
Well, I don't know that it's, I mean, there is certainly some pressure there. I guess from my perspective, as we determine what recovery looks like and we make decisions to start that churn in our economy, one of the greatest tools we've been given, regardless of how perfect or imperfect you think it is, has been the federal stimulus. And so Lubbock as a community, the South Plains as a community, we've got to make sure that we leverage those dollars in the best ways we can with our businesses to start the churn in our economy.
Final seconds we have here. I know recoverlubbock.com is the website set up to sort of have people follow what goes on with the task force. Will people be able to send questions, ideas, feedback to the group there from that site?
Absolutely. And we've got a team, a communication team working for LERT, or the Lubbock Economic Recovery Task Force, and there will be some social media opportunities for social media interaction as well.
Good deal. Steve Massengale is the co-chair of that new recovery task force. Good luck to you. You may need it here moving forward. Stay safe.
It's a tall order. Thanks, Brian.